Hello, everybody. I'm Dr. Jesse Jackson III. I'm the best-selling author and facilitator of the Don't Kick 'Em Out book and training series and lead advisor and consultant here at the Best Man Company, LLC, partner with Winning Team Consulting Group. We're talking about principal issues. It's been a very tough year for principals all over the nation. It's a really tough position. I call it the toughest position in the education business. It's a middle management position I have to manage what's going on over my head with central office. And I have to manage my team, my community, and I have to guarantee that adolescents learn and grow. I also know that it is probably the worst trained position in the business, right? What does that mean? This is the typical path to the principal seat. Let me walk you through it. Typically, first, to be an AP typically means you were a phenomenal teacher or really good at teacher leadership. Then you transfer to a management position. Those are two totally different skill sets. Then I go from being an assistant manager to the manager, and I'm also believed and required to have leadership skills. See, so typically a bulldog AP gets promoted or a really great teacher gets promoted to principal, and the training for the principal job, which is a political assignment, it is a academic mastery assignment, and I've got to manage my community and manage discipline. So what I have seen and personally lived as the biggest deficit, which has opened so many doors for me, is the deficits in the business. And the concern is we have all these principles failing. We replace all these principles. So personally, in my knowledge of circle, I've seen over 30 principals this cycle be relieved of duty. Some are just totally dismissed. Some are sent back to the classroom. I can remember a situation, a superintendent called me in, and he was like, he wanted all 15 of his principals out. Now that automatically is a red flag to me because I said to a central office yesterday in training, if the principals are failing, that is on you. You are there as a central office to ensure principals are successful. So it's either one or two things. One, they're not good at listening, or we're taking a look at the coaching. Right? So either if they're not listening, we got a different problem. But if they're not getting the help they need, then we got a different dog going on. There's a belief that people, because they get in positions, they know what to do. The principal position now is introducing things once again that are not in the training manual. Right? You're talking about managing the community, something totally different. Managing student behavior. It's a different dog. Some people are really good at that. Then I have to get academic production, which is our core job. Some people, that's not their strength. So they're leaning on a building coach. They're leaning on their AP to do that. And so there's so many holes. That's why we're seeing so much failure. When you look at, we have all these schools not doing well. These are people issues. These are adult issues. These things can be corrected, but you can't keep doing what you've been doing. It doesn't work. This is what I see. I took my notes here. Issues in the principal business. So one, a lack of preparedness. Two, they do not understand school discipline. So they make errors in it and it turns the staff against them. Three, they don't understand how to develop their team. Meaning when you're in that management position, I've got to manage my team. So this is why so many, a lot of people don't know how to manage adults. They're better at managing kids. They were good teachers. And they can manage children. They don't know how to manage adults, adult issues, people. So, and then here's the wild card of where all the damage is occurring. It builds up so much lack of trust. Central office kind of, remember, central office is there to ensure a principal's success. So now if I have where the staff can get around the principal and go to their former principal or somebody they know in central office or in the school board, we have no trust. We have no continuity. We have toilet culture. We have rat culture. You're essentially telling on me. My principal asked me to do something I didn't want to do. So you're going to tell on me. And then they actually come down on me. It ruins the relationship. It ruins continuity. It destroys culture, trust issues. So the thing that I knew that I had to do and where I started to really understand, and then here's another trick. So first, all principals need mentorship. All superintendents need mentorship. Now, what you need to understand is can be value in having a former principal to mentor you. There could be value in having a former superintendent to mentor you. But what we've seen in this business is that many times that people get in the mentorship roles, the mentorship they're getting is limited. It's not growth and development. It's somebody who may not have been good at the role. They just had the role. I have seen in many districts that there are principals that were horrible at their job and they just get moved up to central office. Okay. They get moved up to central. So how did you have an F school, but now you in central office for more money and less work? I don't have time to play with you. I take this really serious. And I take folks' career seriously, because when you get 30 plus people, and these are the people that I know of that get put out of a 6-figure job, high 80s, 90 job, and you're losing 6-figure jobs, that changes your life. That is the pressure of that job. It has to be done correctly. Mentorship first, the way mentorship really works. I said this years ago in a city I love that had a huge gang problem, huge problem with crime in the streets. They got a couple of $100 million for mentorship. And I said, well, that's not going to work. They said, well, don't you believe in mentoring, Dr. Jackson? I absolutely do believe in mentoring. But the way mentoring works is the pupil chooses the mentor. You see, you can't put me with you and I don't look at you like that. You see what I'm saying? I chose the people that mentored me. My boss that I received his mentorship, the man that gave me the game that I have over 20 plus years ago, I chose him. I looked up to him. I trusted his guidance. The things he told me I knew weren't wrong. And I knew that he wanted to see me do well. That's mentorship. You just can't put people with people. You can't assign a person a mentor. Mentoring is a relationship built on trust and value. It's my belief in you. It's that I know you can get me where I need to go. This is how I have built this company so strong. It's being a solid advisor, giving some of the best advice that is possible. I don't go against the district. I always tell people that I work with, you do what your boss tells you to do. You don't ever go break rank. That's what we call breaking rank. To where you gonna run your own program and not gonna listen to the people that's giving you instructions. I don't coach that stuff. I don't like that crap. I don't coach that stuff, right? So mentoring is where we need to be. I started my morning off. I got a call and a message from a dear friend. He's principal of the year out there on the West Coast, a large high school, 2,000 kids in the school. He was principal of the year 2 years ago. He did an outstanding job. The guy's brilliant. The guy is destined to be a superintendent, natural leader, awesome manager, mastery with paperwork, mastery with kids. He literally does everything well. And then the message he sent to me for this year, our time kind of got cut back due to some issues they had with my person, who's the assistant suit. He left and went to another district. So I went with him. He's my guy. Right. And so they kind of got cut out because the person who facilitated the program for me has left. And so we had less time this year. And it was a very emotional message because struggling with confidence, doesn't think he did a good job this year. And he did. But the pressure, the new people that took over, they're on top of him. They're doing the negative micro, right? And essentially he's smarter than the people that took over. And so to establish themselves, they kind of put more work on him, poked at his confidence. and didn't create a growth opportunity for somebody that was our reigning principal of the year. He's an exceptional principal. He is a superintendent in training. Well, I would imagine everybody knew that. So to kind of knock him down a few notches, they kind of created barriers for him, hurt his confidence, and he wasn't the same guy. And he said, "Hey, man, we missed you this year, man. We need to get back together next year. I want to take control of my budget. Will you be available to come back and help me?" Of course. But that's how fragile principal issues are. Principal position. The principal position is a management position. People call it a leadership position, but it's a management position, and you have to manage people. The leadership part, those qualities, can you be an awesome principal and not be a professional leader? Absolutely. When you know how to manage people and manage tasks. What I knew I had to do was, I have long had the superintendent's, Success Institute. That's my partnership with principals all over the nation, that just partner with us, and we check in once a month. I do video trainings for them, and they can have access to me. And when we need to get together, we get together. And it's been able to help people make it through some of the craziest times, right? We had to set up before COVID. All of my people that were with me before COVID, they all stayed with us through COVID. And if you ever watch our video that's on our homepage that talks about my relationships with the people I help, superintendents and principals, live through COVID, you can just see the love there. And I'm appreciative of that. So what I knew I had to do is we had to design the Principal Success Institute. There's no way I can let this amount of principals fail. And particularly with the volume of new principals and new APs we have coming in, they got to learn the business. There's more to the business than X's and O's, which is academia. There's more to the business than building control, which is managing students. There is more than skillful PD. There is managing a workforce. Our business happens to be education, but it's managing a workforce. I was able to base my Principal Success Institute, obviously, on our principal playbook. It's one of the most thoroughest pieces. It's going to be adopted by some colleges to really teach administration from a different level, from this position, the principal playbook. And we even created the assistant principal playbook. And this is some of the bad ideas we have about APs. In our business, we got the AP training wrong. It's wrong. It's totally off. Call it Aspiring Leaders Program. Should be an Aspiring Management Program. I'll ask the principal, right? I'll ask the AP. So I did an AP session 2 weeks ago. They sent all the APs. I asked how many people in here feel they're ready to be a principal. Less than half the room had their hands up. I want to almost say like a quarter of the room had their hands up. Well, imagine this. When they fly a jet, they always have a pilot and a co-pilot. Do you think the co-pilot does not believe they can fly the plane? Where we got it is we think that's an act of disloyalty, like you want my job. If I'm an assistant principal, I do have some people in assistant principal's role that don't want to be a principal, but by Jackson's matrix, I think that is totally, unless it's a temporary interim situation where we're just getting through the year, I believe that's horrible. I really do. That person, that AP has got to be learning how to run that building. They have to fulfill their role for their principal, but they have to be developing. And if they're not developing to be a principal, what are we doing? And that's how we have all these lifetime APs, because they don't grow. They don't grow. They don't get the help they need. They don't get the training they need. They're not being coached properly. And so what I'm saying is this cannot continue. It can't. There must be correction of principal mentorship. It's too many people failing. It's too many children being hurt. It's too many careers being ruined because of horrible management. Also in the Institute, we got the first year principal playbook. What should a person that just gets a job, how should they approach that job? right? How do you approach that job? See, it's a way to approach the job to be a winner. Can be overwhelming, and that's what you have going on. Overwhelming. When they first get the announcement, they're on social book. They're excited. Oh, we're just glad to be. I'm proud to announce I'm in. And then they get 500,000 congratulations. And then by September, they're ready to go back to the classroom or their last job. No, no, no. When I see those 30 plus people get terminated, get sent back to the classroom, get salary reductions, lose $100,000 salaries, I immediately get concerned and understand we have to create the funnel of mentorship so that people are properly groomed for the job. So I created my Principal Success Institute. It's functional management mentorship. What does that mean? What do we do that makes this institute so valuable? It's a monthly training, and I'll send you the video. So we know people don't have time, but I know what's going on from month to month. So I send you that video. So why? You can get your own professional development. You can get your own management development. You can develop your leadership skills. It's things you hear. You are who you listen to. You are who you listen to. I've only coached 45 principals of the year of their district, of their region, or of their state. Those are facts. Clean facts. And if you don't win, I don't win. If I'm in a situation where you're over here struggling and you got fired, I got fired. So there's no reason for me to be there. You can't get the results you want with your test scores. We're failing together. You can't get this team right. We're failing together. There's no need for me to be in your life, and you can't get where you need to get in the process. So it's monthly video trainings. You can have weekly access to me. If when you need me, you can get me. You can say, Doc, give me 15 minutes. Let's get on Zoom. You got 30 minutes for me. You can always get me. I used to work 7 days. I've cut it back to where like 6 and just like try to shut off for a day. But you can get me when you need me. You don't have to go through things alone, and you have a neutral party. I just care about outcomes and you. It's discount on. So if you need like on-site training, you're like, hey, we need training this month. We got a PD day. You get discount on that. And you can use this institute and this year-long mentoring program. It goes from July 1st to the end of next June, right? So it's just about to kick off here. And we do understand the budget turns over and people have to get their money together and things like that. That's no problem. We'll be able to get you caught up, but you can use it to set up blocks of time with us, with your admin team. Call them in your office. Let's just talk and review the notes. What's our goal for this year? What's working well? At the end of first quarter, let's come in, right? What's working well? What's not? Where are the problems that's on time? What are we going to do for the second quarter? So what I've been able to do is coach superintendents and principals to how to bust the year down. It's 39 long weeks. So that's too arduous to the brain. So the way you want to do the principal job and run a building, you want to basically run it every 30 days. You got to have a goal for every month, and you have to have an action plan for every month, and then score yourself at the end of the month. The objective is to win every single month of the school year. At the absolute worst, win 8 of the 10 school months, because there's going to be some months you're not going to win. It's going to be a lot going on. We might be behind and we could lose a month, but we should at least know that and not let it trickle to the next month. See, that's working with somebody who understands business and business management, right? Our industry happens to be education. We're running a business, right? And so that's what we're able to do. So it is the Principal Success Mentorship. I've had Principal Success Institute, and it's all about principal mentoring. It's me sharing. Guys, I have a library of books. I've written over 80, and we just have gotten clearance over the things we've done over the last 2 years. It's all come out, and we have a principal series, and the objective is to help our principals be successful. I don't like when we're changing principal, when we're turning over a principal, when the government's taking over a school, we all lost. It's not, let's get this person out of here. That's no good. Hiring the wrong principal. That's no good. A principal leaves us in the middle of the year. That's no good. That's not what we're going for. That is unstable management, and that is something we can correct. It is the Principal Success Institute, right? It is a 12-month, and we have topics every single month. We'll go with how to build your team. How do you deal with parents? How do you keep ahead of discipline trends? How do you keep your staff motivated and out of a burnout phase? How do you achieve your testing goals? You gotta have academic production. You can't be a school with no academic production. Growth is the name of the game. And after you take the step to growth, you have to move to proficiency. Growth is the name of the game. Proficiency pays bills. Growth is the name of the game. Proficiency pays the bills. So it has a subject title every month, and it's the stuff we're dealing with. How to deal with holiday issues. Once that holiday turns and we get in that November, you have to know how to get your team through November. You have to know how to get your team, particularly in cold weather months. You got to know how to get them through December. You have to know how to get your team back going in January, how to get your team in a test culture to where we are living a test culture. We're just not getting ready for tests in February or March. Well, folks, it's too late. Nobody ever told principals that. And that's why we have so many principals working as hard as they're working, getting no results. You don't have to live like that anymore. Enroll, get yourself into our Principal Success Institute. You won't regret it, and you can use it for your entire team. We as individuals, as managers and leaders that run campuses, you have to understand your emotional health and how to maintain your vision and your strategy for execution. These are things that they do not teach, right? They're not taught. We talk about policy, procedure. We talk about data. We talk about discipline numbers. We talk about models. But when it comes to being an effective workplace leader, the training is not there for that. And so you have to seek it. We have been able to we understand that we can't go to every school. I can't go to every school in the country, but in this situation, how we do our mentoring program, we can help hundreds of principals with their management and leadership practices, establishing that vision, learning how to execute, how to build my team, how to manage my parents, how to manage and help my kids, how to keep my team fresh, how to keep my team together, how to flush out toxins. We can do that. All of the information is below. You know you need it. You know it will help you. Stop struggling. Stop spending that time struggling. And these are the book catalog. You get access to that because we wrote the books so people can use them for tools to continue to get better. We have to promote success, and success is not a theory. They're benchmarks. There's areas you have to develop to get the results you want. That is what I'm here to do. And it is my Principal Success Institute. I made it for principals of all ages, all stages. No matter how long you've been in the game, if you know you need help, you know you need a push, you know you need guidance, you know you need a neutral ear, you know you need to grow, you know you're not happy, you know you're not where you want to be in your career. That's why I'm here. That's the singular reason why I'm here. This is why I wake up. It's why I do this. I understand if I got a strong, vision-led, focused principle, I recognize what we can do to help young people with their careers and their future, and all of those teachers that have entrusted us with their careers. We are able to be a mentor to them and make working for us a positive experience and build loyalty and love for the rest of our life. We're enrolling now. However you have to do it. If you have to pay month by month, some people are going to say, I don't have a budget. Dr. Jackson, we've worked all of that out. It made it as low as we can. Get in there, enroll today, and let's get to work. We launch July 1st, our first video, and our introduction will be available July 1st, because even if you're not back to after Labor Day, you have to have some insight and understand what you need to do to have a successful school year. And I'm just so pumped up about this opportunity, and I'm looking forward to working with you soon. Enroll today. Let's get to work.